Hello, and welcome to another Friday Light Language activation. And as you may or may not know, these light language activations are based on a Monday mantra that I post. And this week, we've been working with creation is an act of my belief system. And manifestation, creation is for some people, it is a multi-million-pound topic, because how many books have been written about it? How many videos have been made? And a lot of people have become very wealthy, very well known, teaching us about manifestation, about how we create the life that we dream of. And what always got me about the books is they never told you what they did on the bad days. It's always, I dreamt of this, I got it, and so on. And for a lot of people, it's just not like that. For a lot of people, there's far more struggle. There are far more difficulties for them in creating the life that they want. And Master Melchizedek, who understands sort of universal law and order, he wants us to really understand how it is that we begin to create. And it's very simple. We create what we focus on. If, this is where it gets a bit nuanced, because let's say you go into a shopping centre and you walk around and you look at everything, but you're thinking inside of yourself, well, I can't afford to go into that shop. And that shop is way too expensive for me, and I'm not the right kind of person for this sort of upmarket shop. The daft things that we'll think. And where's our focus? Is our focus on those goods within the shops? No, our focus actually is on, I'm not worthy. That's the message that we're constantly sending out. I am not worthy. I don't have the money to do this. I don't have the opportunity. And that's the message that we're sending out into the universe. That's an oversimplification, but this is constantly what we do. So when we long to create something and we're saying, yes, this is what I long to create in life, you have to look not just at what you want to create, but really, where is your focus? And probably the focus is on the obstacles. It's on the mountain that you feel you have to climb in order to reach where you're going. So rather than looking at the space behind the wall, imagining that huge, beautiful green field filled with flowers behind the wall, instead we're looking at the wall and we're saying, well, I've got to get past the wall, then I'll get to the green field. But the message that is received by the universe, the message that our energy creates is, oh, look, there's a wall. And it's so simple when we look at it in that way. We have to stop focusing on the things that we don't want and place our focus instead on where our heart actually wants us to go. We are phenomenally powerful creators. We are incredible. Our ability to bring into our lives everything that we focus on is phenomenal. But you have to ask yourself, what are you focusing on? Think about it right now. What have you been focusing on today? What difficulties have taken your attention? What problems have stolen away your energy? I bet you'll find it's a lot more than you think. And now think for a moment. How much time have I actually spent just dreaming, just imagining what I want and imagining having it in my life? And you'll probably find it's very, very little time. So we have to change the way that we are engaging with our dreams. Change the place that we spend all our energy. We live in a challenging world right now, should we say, as we are on this journey to ascension. And it's incredibly easy for us to place our focus on, look at the difficulties, look at the corruption, look at the lies, look at the strife. Instead, we have to focus on the joy, the kindness, the area in which we live, on our neighbour, on our family, and on bringing joy and happiness and love into those arenas. And if we each did that, can you imagine if every person cared for their friend, if every neighbour cared for their neighbour, the amount of joy and happiness and positive energy we would raise is quite extraordinary. But instead, we look at the negativity, we look at the news and we go, oh my God, have you seen what's happening today? Have you seen the latest shocking headline? And so that's where we place our energy, and we squeeze out all this, we squeeze out all the space that should be there for positivity. So that's the lesson. Be careful where you place your focus. Be careful about the amount of energy that you are putting into the negative in your life. And also work with yourself to say, I deserve. That's another important element. Focus on the fact that you do deserve and that you are open to receive. Because so often we ask and we are offered, and then we say, oh no, that's not for me. That's not right. Because we feel so unworthy, and this has to change. So that is the beautiful advice from Lord Melchizedek, and now he's going to bring through some energetic advice in terms of loving light language. I've never channeled him before, so let's see how he sounds. So you're going to sit back and just relax, and we're going to give thanks, and we're going to open our hearts to this beautiful Ascended Master for all his assistance and for all the light and the love that he's going to bring. Warasi wara to dashne mesia, tiodan zokora koshia, tianessimia terror dombara tushima seva, ayutara masurat kirkion yamiati maravaratisha. Yamisuran the shoy samara da jibuka merakita bishi, Nimarish Namashamarishki Mitzvaya. Tomorrow the Musharanski Vaya to Krishpia Samaratarishne Bessia. Now Yiswaya, the Kiro Baranda Krishkin Mahoresia, Tiamarodan Chima Shibarasiba, Tiran Yiswara. Now weren't the Kosh Maru, Kia to Kusimar, Tinjamia Mutubanakandishki, to Ransha Si Morandasha. Mamarita da Kio. Mamarita Maraki Porshkeza Isha Jan Dani Marasiburu Tashineme. Chamarasishu Koyu Karamu Korea to Korkio, Gandakabashikas Marita Shinke. Mayumora, Mayinumara, Bronjkushiskia. Chinasi Urndata, Parisata Tessimarapateshi, Kiumbar, Kora, Tatasi. Chayish Kuyen the Karamashikasia, Randabarashi, can you hoish Karasia, can you Randabarshkeza Shiska, Maya Yuan Namara Tachi. The Yujan Jakiado Kandishka, Ishaya Maromarashke, Shuya, Mabayan the Krisi. Muara Hishisia, Oranda Kishia, Chimushi Warawa, Yitisia, Mayunda, Yuara Shia, Mamesi, Mayunda Yetu, Gate Kria to Kuya, Shayiwara, Oshi Moshe. He reminds us that the one thing we forget, that we always forget, is how incredibly loved, and that being here on earth is not a punishment. We so often have this idea that life is just suffering, and why did I come here? We came here because the universe loves us. We came here because this is such an opportunity to grow and to learn, and we simply need to know how loved we are, and that this earth, we are here to create it into the most magical playground. Why you were ambashe? See it to Kuyam, Quatim, Rokarakayo, Shake. You may shaya the Kio, I see Miss Karayu to Krishmasaya, that idea in your Araba. Around to see you, Shim, Ragarabet Kerishki. Yamaranda Tassi, Janiata Kilo, Jim, Kayu Buha, Jimera Boratatashi. Chunzisia, Yetia, Marabara, the Kuruki Ocean Kosha, Sadia, Marakota Krikorowara Kishi, Chinazisi, Usia, Marabara Natashi, Chame, Ayetinia, Duya, and the Marajan Kurikushka, Sia, Mare, Ishma, Maramonokoshki. Chunyaisi, Sinja, Yetiam Numarabara, or the Kawa Koranda Kashke, Shikai Yumaram do Pashkets, but the Pisha. You must want Haiti, Haye, Yetiki or Rokaramashkets, Yetuta Maraburatan Chishki. You must see, Ora, Hisa, Tionia, Moaranda, Shibikarikashketsia. And so we have to remember this immense love that is there for us. And it's about us remembering also how to use our creative muscle, how to use this wisdom. Many ancient texts have been written about our extraordinary ability to create, and it is those texts to which we need to return to study once again the ancient truths when things were simple, before we were wrapped up in needing the latest thing because this is what society did, but rather in being the unique individual that we are and knowing that we can have what we want, what each individual heart wants, and not to simply go along with what everyone else wants, because this is the pathway to dissatisfaction. If we constantly long for what other people have, even though it's not what we want, then we don't have the energy, the focus, the determination to bring into life abundance, because it's not actually what we want. So we have to trust in our own longing. Marushasia tiati ora kaisuse, kayet kroshkase, maradata shisi sitia, tanada zise, tandiamura to jurata marsi. Chikus gaurund, kashes, candiana masikara karaviski sutia, the gresi. Chayish moranda shin masaya, the hindikoshka, rabotanachkets, diana ramada masiko, rio to karake. Chamioaranda shisi, yetiondonara machimara, sisi, huka, I shismieta. Tjadisa moravara koriki korkeskesa narasi kikar mot korkiskesaya tjanisa otaharo ayundu si marando shia maro harki warakashi se moramshia marumborjisia tjanasa si kanyesa si tjamoro tanjamaravane korskiski tjamarasia turasa eta ada marakoshasi. We also have to gain a new understanding of what poverty and what abundance is. We have this criteria for what poverty is, and then we feel that if we don't have whatever is on that list, then we are in poverty. And we stop looking at all the abundance that we actually have within our life and recognizing the abundance, feeling abundant, placing our focus on how abundant we are. This, of course, helps us create more. So we have to find within ourselves our own sense of how incredibly rich we are. And once we have that feeling within ourselves, then we begin to resonate with a much higher energy, a much higher vibration. So I think those are beautiful, incredible words, incredible wisdom to come through. And so right. How we feel about ourselves is, of course, what we create. So I look forward to working with these principles, and I hope you will too. And let's prove to ourselves that we have not lost our powers of creation, but they are still there with us. And let's build a world that teaches everybody how powerful they are. So I thank you so much for joining me here today for this lovely little, again, mini light language activation. And I look forward so much to being here with you again on another Friday spiritual lecture. Send you many light blessings. Bye-bye.